Hey everyone, welcome back. KC here with another update. And yep, the fallout has officially started. The much talked about rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is already taking a hit. Ticket prices are dropping fast after news broke that Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever star, will be out for at least 2 weeks with a quad injury. Honestly, I think it might be longer. We'll probably hear more soon, and I might do a separate video once we know the full story. But this definitely feels like a, let's say 2 weeks and then reassess kind of situation. Now here's the real issue. The WNBA's handling of Clark so far has been shaky at best. It's like the league hasn't fully embraced the fact that Caitlin Clark is here. A major draw, like it or not. And while that might feel unfair to other players, it's the reality of today's game. They couldn't fix it all overnight, but let's be honest. There's a lot more they could have done from the start. Fans are feeling it. The excitement is fading and people are getting tired of the constant drama. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what's going on, including what's happening behind the scenes. And yes, I've got the receipts. We'll even take a look at Ticketmaster to see how quickly things are unraveling. Caitlin Clark's second season is making just as much noise as her first. Her presence in the league has brought in fans, boosted revenue, and made a real difference. But right now, that momentum is being tested. We've been watching this unfold in real time. Not long ago, I did a deep dive into Caitlin Clark's economic impact on the WNBA, and let me tell you, the numbers were huge. Last year alone, she was behind roughly 26.5% of the league's total financial activity. That kind of influence from one player is almost unheard of in any pro sport. But this season, things are shifting fast. Ticket prices for Indiana Fever games, especially away games, are dropping quickly. This isn't just about fans losing interest or giving up on the team. There's a real financial decision behind it. Think about it. For many fans, going to see Caitlin Clark isn't just another night out. I talked to someone who planned a whole road trip to see a Fever game. By the time you add up tickets, travel, and a hotel, they were looking at close to $3,000. If Clark isn't playing, it's totally understandable that they'd reconsider. This isn't just about supporting the team. It's about making the most of a rare chance to see a true star in action. And that brings us to the bigger issue, load management. It's something NBA fans have been talking about for years. When people spend serious money to watch their favorite athletes and those players sit out, especially when it's not due to injury, it's a huge letdown. The NBA has tried to curb load management because they know what's at stake. Stars bring in the crowds and keep the money flowing. And now, that same reality is hitting the WNBA, but even more intensely with Caitlin Clark. Clark isn't just another top player. She's become the driving force behind almost every financial win the league is seeing right now. Her games are the most televised nationally. She's pushed WNBA merchandise sales up by 500% in just 1 year, and overall attendance and viewership are hitting record highs. Some estimates now put her total economic impact near or even above $1 billion this season alone. So when fans hear she might not play and ticket prices start falling, it's not about people being disloyal, it's about the simple truth. She's the main reason many fans buy tickets in the first place. This kind of effect isn't new. We've seen it in the NBA and other pro sports. But right now, the WNBA is feeling it big time. Take the Fever's upcoming rematch with the Sky in Chicago. Last August, average ticket prices were $334, with even the cheapest seats going for $165. Now, prices are dropping fast. Why? Because the star attraction might not be on the court. The bottom line is this. When a generational player like Caitlin Clark isn't in the lineup, it sends shockwaves through the entire league. It hits fans' wallets, impacts media coverage, and even affects how future deals get made. And while there's been talk, like what Angel Reese said, that it's not just about one player, Clark's absence shows just how much of the spotlight and the business is riding on her right now. Seriously, does she really believe she's sticking to this? because every time Angel Reese speaks out, it turns into a whole production. One moment, she's all in on being the villain, saying she's built for it, thrives off the booze and feeds off the hate. Then the next minute, she's calling out how unfair it all is, talking about being misunderstood and targeted. So which is it? You can't say you're built differently and then jump on social media to talk about how you're being treated unfairly. It just doesn't add up. And look, nobody's saying you can't have feelings or get upset. But at some point, you've got to pick a lane. You're either fully owning the role and tuning out the noise, or you're letting every comment and headline get to you. Anyway, that's probably a whole different conversation for another day. Back to the numbers. Yes, Angel Reese might have a point about more players bringing attention to the league, but the data tells a different story. Last season's final regular season matchup between the Sky and the Fever set a record. Tickets started at $165 just to get in. Their first game this season, back on May 17th, had entry-level prices over $75, but with Caitlin Clark sidelined until at least June 8th. Ticket prices for the June 7th rematch are taking a nosedive. Some of the cheapest tickets on resale sites are going for around $65, and they're still dropping. We're now seeing prices hit as low as $50 to $60, and I'll show you proof in a moment, but let's be real. That's a steep fall from where things were just a year ago. That's a drop of more than 70% compared to just a couple of weeks ago. And it's not just that one game. We're seeing the same sharp declines for other matchups too, like games against the Mystics, the Sun, and really any team where Caitlin Clark either isn't playing or might be sitting out. The difference is huge. Now compare that to the buzz around her return to Atlanta. Tickets for that game were going for $173 just to get in the door. That's the kind of demand she brings. If you've been following my channel, you've heard me say this before, but it's worth repeating. Last year, Caitlin Clark was responsible for 26.5% of the WNBA's total economic activity. That's not just impressive, it's historic. That's the kind of impact that changes a league. And now, we're seeing what happens when she's not on the court. It's not just about missing a top performer. It's about losing the main driver of ticket sales, ratings, and revenue. For teams that were used to sellout crowds every time the Fever came to town, this is a real wake-up call. All right, let's pull this up quickly. Take a look with me. June 7th is almost here. Now look at the ticket map. Every section still has seats. 59 here, 92 there, 79 in that one, 55 in another. It just keeps going. Now scroll over to the right side. Same story. This isn't just about one player missing a game. This is a snapshot of how much one superstar can shift the entire league. Yep, these are all verified resale tickets. What we're seeing right now is a full-on fire sale. And it tells you something important. Most of these tickets were originally bought by Caitlin Clark fans, many of them from out of town. That shouldn't come as a surprise. Clark has a massive national following. We saw this before. Remember the game in Cambridge? I did a whole video on how far people were traveling just to see her play. Folks were driving 4, 6, even 8 hours one way for a chance to see her in person. Now, with news she's out, a lot of those fans aren't making the trip. And you can see the result in the resale market. Tickets are flooding back in, and prices are falling fast. I still think Indiana will hold steady with home attendance while she recovers, and Fever TV ratings should stay fairly strong. But the real impact is going to hit away games, especially those that fans had to plan trips around. You're already seeing that with this upcoming rematch in Chicago. People just aren't spending hundreds of dollars if Caitlin Clark isn't playing. Plain and simple. And here's where it goes even deeper. The longer she's out, the bigger the ripple effect. We're not just talking ticket sales anymore. This could hit TV ratings, sponsorship interest, even the next collective bargaining agreement. Everything's on the table. Like I mentioned in another video, Clark accounts for 26.5% of the WNBA's total economic activity. That's not just a stat. It's a wake-up call. Honestly, her absence could slow down league momentum. It might even affect how content like this performs. But that's just the reality when your biggest draw isn't on the court. So what do you think? Should fans still make the trip? Will the fever keep the buzz going without her? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. If you're with me on this, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Things are about to get a lot more interesting.